I joined the construction trades union movement in 1976. I've worked on the tunnels underneath the city, putting in the sewer lines. I've worked on the Beecher water treatment plant. I built several of the concrete confinements in the Montrose water sewage treatment system, the Linwood City area. So I've had extensive background in environmental issues relative to an opportunity was presented to me to work in an environmental laboratory here in Flint, Michigan in 1993. When the Russians came in from the sister city of Telegati, they were looking for purification, filtration systems, which we at our laboratory were developing in the city of Flint at that time. And so it gave me a really insightful view. And then when we discovered lead in water fountains in 1993 and reported it, the chemistry in the water, Mr. Bob Stewart, a registered federal chemist in the United States of America, blessing that he was here in Flint, he announced the lead in the water in connection to the low SAT scores and the high levels of violence as a result of lead poisoning. Well, they took the water coolers out, but they didn't take out the lead pipes or any of that. So
this was in '93.
They were more concerned with lead paint and lead abatement in review of that. And so now we come up and we pull to this date here. I've got 33 years background working in various environments, including Chicago International Airport, an installation of a $2.5 million wastewater treatment system. So I've got a little bit of knowledge in hands-on treatment of water systems and purification, what's used and what's not. And so I took this on as a pledge to the 7,000 babies when I heard that 7,000 babies were born permanently brain damaged.
Got me a lookalike, so I went for Dr. Pepper.
I bawled my eyes out. I prayed to the Lord, and I said, I'm going to do something. So I took the pledge that I was going to be the voice. And so for 3 years, I've been trying to raise the awareness to the water heaters as being a serious issue, like a revolving gun that would go off unexpectedly, and it has bullets that can kill people, and that's the contaminants that we're looking at in this pipe here, and the pipe that I'm showing you here, this pipe here, is connected to, that pipe there is connected to a water basin in the bathroom, and we teach our children to brush their teeth and to be healthy, and we don't expect them to be fearful of the water, to ask us if the water is safe, Mama or Dad. We don't do that. And so Flint is inundated with this problem because the river switch in the raw river water without corrosive practices created a slurry of sludge that washed off all of the 500 miles that were underneath the city and pushed it into people's homes. It is still laying there, harboring in people's homes and in the water heater. Now, taking the basic science, if I can.
When did you take this? Just so people know when this is from.
About 2 weeks ago, and that was within about 5,000 feet of Early Hospital.
So the city, which is saying if you use your water with a filter, it's fine. The lead levels are improving. All of this stuff. He pulled this 2 weeks ago. If you look in there, I doubt you think that's fine. This is where the water is passing, folks.
Now, if I can show the other pictures that I have here. This is the inside of the wall of where the pipe, this pipe, was removed. You can see the impaction of the sediment in the knuckles. And the impact here is 2 inches deep. That's probably similar. That's one water line of several water lines. This is the hot water side of the
So when
faucet.
you're talking about sediments, explain that to the audience. What kind of sediments are you talking about?
This here is a water heater that would have well water. Without any water softeners, the minerals would collect over a period of 15 or 16 years which is the life expectancy of a water heater, and they fill the water heater as this illustration presents. This here is a heating element without any of the residue. If you will imagine this calcified in the bottom of the water heaters, then you'll have a bacterial issue that is like Russian roulette. And when it comes to the Legionella and the bacteria that are being released, as far as when the first warning came out was boil your water. Bad news, bad science. It only coagulated the lead and the metals, and people were getting absolute poison by that warning. So this is a direct result of the river flow without corrosion control practices being employed, and as the chemistry of the water is allowable, the chemistry of the water was not followed, and the city of Flint then took the basis to push this water for 14 months continuously, and this is the end byproduct, and we're talking about 20 to 30,000 homes that have been impacted in the impact zone of 100,000 people's lives that have been poisoned.
So when they've said we've recoated the pipes to add more corrosives and the lead is improving, that's obviously not really focusing on the sediment and the bacteria.
Correct. You're absolutely correct. And when the issue comes up to it, the lead particles that are in the sediment are being discharged into the filters that are being issued to the people, and the filters that are then coagulating, and I use that word extensively because that's what's happening. The hot water, as you stated before, once you run hot water through these filters, they're dead. They're done. And the people are not on a maintenance schedule that is reliable. And so the water source that's coming through their taps is coming through what I'm presenting to you. And so we're trying to bring awareness to the problems of this being a major health hazard and peril of safety to the public. And so in doing so, if they continue us to force to drink water through these contaminated conditions, then to me, that's culpability to criminality. And that's where the rubber meets the road here, because certain people got arrested for speaking the truth. And sometimes the truth comes out in various ways. And I don't condemn anybody for their actions, because the city itself is in a serious situation, and they're not going at this problem from an issue where the people are feeling any relief. And this program right here of eliminating and remediating this right here will bring $20 to $30 million in revenue for savings immediately. I'm thinking in the emergency room with kidney dialysis and liver, and over the next 30 years, the possibility of $300 to $400 million by taking on the remediation. Now we're talking about $21 million to get it done.
Now, when you say the program, what kind of program would you like to see?
This right here is a remediation grants program. The grant program would allow the homeowner up to, I'm proposing up to $7,500 for the replacement of contaminated pipes and the replacement of their water heaters. I've talked and spoke to the local union representatives who are more than capable and able of doing replacements and have been working on it.
The plumbers union.
Yes, and Habitat for Humanity has provided, I understand, some relief to 20 or 30 this is like, I'm not an expert in all of this, but I am. And I know, I don't